Let's bring in Gina Sanchez, the Chief Market Strategist at Lido Advisors. Gina, is Diller calling it too soon? Because it's one thing to have the most people streaming your stuff. It's another thing to actually make money at it.
Absolutely. And what Netflix did was that they basically spent a lot of money acquiring the viewership that they have, except that now they are maxed out. Where do they go from here? That's the big question. Disney, on the other hand, is a machine in terms of content. And I actually agree with Bob Iger, with Bob Chapek, when he says that nobody can touch their content. I think he's absolutely right.
So what does that mean for media from an investor perspective as we head into a slower economy, if not a recession? Netflix is trying to put advertising into their platform. Disney's got a big catalog of great content that they've already spent the money to have that they can now monetize. What does that mean for investors?
Look, I think that we're going into, everybody was expecting that cord cutting would benefit the streamers. Now we have, subscription exhaustion. People are tired of having 4, 5, 6 subscriptions, and eventually everyone's going to come down to a small set of subscriptions that they're willing to do, and that's where Disney has an edge. Disney has great content. Disney has bundled with the right kind of content. So you have the Disney Hulu ESPN experience, and that to me is kind of the hallmark of success in terms of winning. If there's only going to be 2 or 3 streaming providers that people are going to subscribe to as we start cutting subscriptions, that's where I think Netflix is potentially going to lose some steam. Okay,
I got a couple more things I want to jam through with you real quick. Midterms, how should investors position?
So, look, I think the expectations right now are that if history is any guide, we should see a switch in leadership. And many are expecting that. But what started as the expectation of a red wave is turning into a red ripple. And there are a lot of very key elections that are going to be really tough to call. I think that it is going to be a very long night. Those of us who watch elections probably aren't going to sleep tomorrow night. And, that tells you that a lot is up in the air. I do think that we probably end up switching parties in terms of leadership, which tells us that we're probably going to go into 2 years where we get absolutely nothing done as a government. All right.
Well, which the market tends to like, though individuals maybe not so much. Keying off of Apple, are we in the return of supply side challenges, both with zero COVID in China and heading into winter with energy issues with Russia, Ukraine?
So, Apple has been incredibly resilient at managing their supply chain issues. I recently got a hate tweet for not commenting about Apple's supply chain issues, but the reality is they've actually managed it quite well. Even on the cost side, they managed to keep their margins flat, their operating margins flat, which is pretty heroic given the pressures that they're facing. Are we going into another bout of supply chain issues, and can Apple handle that? Well, I think Apple has shown that the demand for their product is strong, that they have been able to, up until now, manage these issues reasonably well. They could be running out of room if we go into, right now, the weather looks like it's actually going to be in our favor, in that we're probably not going to have an overly cold winter. I mean, I was in London last week and I could go out without a jacket. So, so are we going to have that massive winter that creates kind of excess energy consumption issues, et cetera? It's hard to say, but it doesn't look that way. And if that's the case, then in fact, some of these issues go away.
Yeah, they would. And we can hope for the people on the ground as well as the markets and the economy. Gina Sanchez, thank you.